Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can I please ask you all to take your seats? We are very excited that you're here, and we want to be punctual. We're going to start on time, so if you could take your seats, we will get ready to begin. Go.
The students from the class of 2023.
be seated. First of all, I want you to know that Shane ordered this weather 1 year ago today, and it worked out really well. Before I formally welcome you, doesn't the class look good? Could we give them a round of applause? Parents, grandparents, family, friends, colleagues, and most importantly, our 8th grade class. You can't imagine the mixed emotions I was feeling as I walked through the door today, recognizing that this, the 27th 8th grade class that I'll have the opportunity to hand certificates to, is the last class that I'll have the privilege to do that for. In the course of the 27 years, I've had the pleasure to watch some wonderful 8th graders move on to high school. But the truth is that this class, for lots of different reasons, is among the most special that we've ever had. It's an incredibly committed, talented, and bright group of students come together in a special way. One of the things I like best about this particular class is its willingness to speak up when it's concerned about issues, and its willingness and ability to step out and make a difference. It's a class of 76 strong individuals that's come together to be a very strong group. It's with that in mind, I ask you, with me, to give them the first round of applause of the day. We all know that this class wouldn't be where it is without the wonderful efforts of so many family members and friends, and of course, of all of the teaching and coaching colleagues here at the Shipley School. At this particular point, what I'd like to do is to acknowledge some of our colleagues, the colleagues who will be leaving at the end of this year, in recognition not just of them, but also of all of our teachers and coaches. So as I call your name, if you'd be kind enough to please come forward and receive some flowers. The first individual I'd like to call up has been here but 1 year. But wow, what a difference she has made. A truly extraordinary teacher, an outstanding and league championship coach, but most importantly, the kind of person you want in a community. She says it as it is, and she's done anything and everything she could to help us become a better school. Iris Williamson. The next individual has been with us, I think, 3 years. There's nothing he doesn't do and hasn't done. An incredibly talented teacher of French. You can see him playing the guitar and singing, talking with our students, doing whatever he can to bring the sense of community together. To know him is to love him. Our loss will be GA's gain. It's my absolute pleasure to call Ben Tinsley forward. Getting a little nostalgic. Our next individual has been with us 6 years, and there's no one more committed to doing well and to doing good. Latin has been her home, but the students are really the medium by which she functions. She loves them, she works hard with them, and she believes in everything they do because she knows it's going to make them better. While we're very sorry to be losing her, we're grateful for the time, good work, and effort she has put in during her time here. If I could call Betsy Spear forward, it would be appreciated. As the head of this school, one of the best things that I saw happen over the past 27 years was when we had the opportunity to hire this individual to come and develop our Bells program and to work with our students in music and in so many other areas. In the time here, he's developed the best Bells program anywhere, as best I can tell. Just this year, he was good enough to write a wonderful piece for our 125th called, of course, Courage for the Deed, Grace for the Doing. It seems appropriate that that's the name because that's the way he's lived his life for the last 20 plus years. It's my privilege to call Michael Joy forward. The last of our teaching colleagues who will be leaving actually graduated from Shipley, was actually here, and I think was in the senior class when we decided that Gators would be our nickname. Though he'll be leaving us, there's no doubt that he's a Gator for life. He joined us first actually as a teaching intern in history, and in the ensuing 25 years, he's become an unbelievably talented, committed teacher of math, terrific advisor, and a coach extraordinaire. A wonderful, wonderful person, terrifically committed educator, and a loving and caring parent. There's no one I admire or respect more. Jay Jennings. At this point, it seems appropriate for me to ask you to give all of our colleagues, our teachers, our coaches, and others in the community a round of applause. Of course, the middle school, which I think is the best middle school anywhere, wouldn't be what it is with, in addition to all of our wonderful parents and our colleagues, without the leadership that takes place. I'd love to acknowledge the three members of the middle school administrative team. The first, who makes her passion the support in every regard of students and is fundamentally committed to our mission in a special way. She believes in excellence, love of learning, and compassionate participation for everyone. She not only believes in it, she does what she can to make it happen. Annie Griffin. Many of you won't know this, but our associate head of the middle school began his career as an architect. Little did he know he would take the skills of an architect to help put together a middle school that, again, as I've said, is second to none. A truly wonderful teacher of science, supporter of students, coach, advisor, and friend. He does it all, he does it well, and he does it without notice. Truly extraordinary educator, Stu Malcolm. The final member of the administrative team, who absorbs the responsibility for it all, has just made an extraordinary difference in his 6 years here. Incredibly dedicated and committed to doing whatever is necessary to help our students, to help our colleagues, to help our communities. I believe that even in the most difficult of situations, he sees, knows, and does what's important. And in his mind, what's most important is, of course, our students. It has been an absolute privilege to work with him for the past 6 years. Shane Kinsella. It's always good when the person you're giving flowers to is able to give them to himself, so that's really good. As I think about today, I find myself incredibly proud of the middle school we have, incredibly proud of all our students, but in this particular instance, most importantly, proud of the 76, actually 75 because one of our members is sick, 8th grade students who are in front of you. I'm amazed, not just at what they've accomplished or how good they look. Don't you think this should be the dress code? It would be amazing. Students say no, parents say yes. But most importantly, about the optimism, the confidence, the support of others that they bring to everything they do. It's with that in mind, it's my absolute privilege to welcome all of you to the closing exercises for this year's 8th grade and ask you to join me in giving them a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pilch. Before I share my words of advice for the class, I would like to take a moment to thank the 8th grade parent coordinators for the work they've done this year. I think last night was an example of the tremendous effort you've all put into this. I have never seen so much pizza and cake and cupcakes, but it was truly a remarkable night last night. The students enjoyed it, and we really appreciate it. So with that in mind, I would like to offer some flowers to Nicole Capobianco as the lead parent coordinator. Thank you. I do have a second bouquet of flowers, and we're going off script a little bit, but we would like to present these to Dr. Pilch. For the last 6 years, I can speak from experience, he has presented flowers to pretty much everybody in the Shipley community. So we felt it was only fitting that we turn the tables and present him with some flowers. Speaking from experience, the willingness he has shown to have an open door for me to come in on a daily basis to ask him questions from the most serious to the very, very mundane is really amazing. But that open door policy doesn't just apply to teachers and colleagues. I think it applies to families, but it also applies to students. We will miss him greatly, but we thank him for everything he has done for us. So the theme for this year has been 125 years of change makers. And I think that is only fitting to close at our 125th year with some reflections on this. While September might seem a long time ago for you all now, over the last 10 months, you all, and I'm talking to the students and perhaps you, but really the students, have been change makers in our lives. For some, it's just 1 year. For others, 2 or 3. But you've all made a big difference to our lives as teachers and colleagues, to your parents' lives, and probably to your siblings' lives as well. You started the year with trips down to Center City, where you were the first group of students to get to see the Hamilton exhibit at the Museum of the American Revolution. And I do remain impressed by how quickly you were all able to learn to load and fire a cannon, and how willing you all were to answer questions from the docents regarding the founding of our nation and the conflicts between Hamilton and Jefferson. Although perhaps the musical Hamilton played a part in that as well. Of course, I think the bigger outing for you all, though, happens to be the trips to Reading Terminal Market. These are always a highlight, and as I walked around, I'm amazed to see how adventurous people are for their lunches, a little bit how selective they are as well when it comes to chocolate and sweets, but I won't comment on the person who decided to have a full pizza with about 5 minutes to go and ended up having to bring it back on the bus. As the weather got colder, we celebrated Halloween, held our winter concerts, and hosted another successful Speak Up event. We witnessed your Shank Tark pitches during history class, and to stand up in front of your peers and a group of invited judges and pitch an idea from the Industrial Revolution is a wonderful skill. And while you may not realize it now, you will be able to draw on this experience in the years to come. Because I guarantee you, no matter what you end up doing in life, you will have to speak in public. When we returned from winter holidays, we began our transition to 9th grade with a visit to the upper school and a meeting with Mrs. Van Steenwyk, Ms. Dadar, and Mrs. Lyons. As a class, you impressed Mrs. Lyons with your perceptive questioning, your interest in everything from art to science to English and all of the other elements that make up the upper school. And I will say, Mrs. Lyon actually did call me up to say how many questions you asked and how impressed she was by that. Finally, as we headed into the end of the year, I want to think a little bit about your desire to make a difference in the lives of your classmates. From your participation in Middle School Diversity Conference at Haverford, to meeting on a Friday during lunch for Race and Identity Club and Spectrum Club, you are a grade that is comfortable speaking out. The work begun in those two clubs this year will continue next year, and your leadership has been invaluable. It has left a lasting impression on the middle school, and I hope that you will also continue this work in the upper school. And as we get to the summer, I want to urge you all to continue to be change makers. Summer's a great time to relax, to visit with friends, and to have fun. However, I know you are capable of more. Take some time over the summer to have some fun, but perhaps think also of the Google 20% initiative. And I talked a little about this at Assembly yesterday, so they're hearing this for the second time. What if you give over 1 day per week, or 1 week or 2 over the summer, to do something that is helpful for your community or for others? Maybe it will involve reaching out to your service group and volunteering, or working more on your projects for leadership, started under Mr. Baltzer's direction. Perhaps it will be to volunteer at your local library or park. What it is, I leave up to you all. However, taking some time to think of others will benefit your community, but also, interestingly, benefit you. We are at our best when we are helping others, and we, your teachers, have seen you do this on numerous times. Be it riding the elevator with a friend on crutches, helping someone with and we had a lot of crutches this year, helping someone with a project in the community room, or inviting someone to sit at a lunch table. Small acts of kindness, when repeated often enough, add up to big impacts on people's lives. You have all impacted our lives and changed them for the better. Enjoy your summers, rest, read some good books. We do have a 9th grade reading from the high school. Watch some movies and listen to some great music. And then come back to Shipley in September, ready to give your best again. You will be welcoming new students into your grade and into the school. And if you show the same care and kindness you have shown this year to your new classmates, you will continue to be the change makers for good that we know you can be in the years to come. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to call on Henry Cholovich, class of 2023, the middle school president, to share some words.
Hello, everyone. My name is Henry Turlovich, and I've been at Shipley for 4 years, and I'm the 8th grade class president. As we move our lives forward from the middle school and start to get ready for our future as a class, we should look back at all these memories we have created because a chapter of our life is now closed. The first part of middle school, 6th grade, was unique in the sense that it was the base of middle school and helped most people find a piece of the puzzle for who you are as a person and what interests you. One memory that is special to me is swamp night in 6th grade. When I walked through the door of the gym, I noticed the bleachers were filled with students from all grades. As a small 6th grader, I was intimidated at first. But then after seeing the whole school together, it felt like I was truly a part of the community, cheering with the rest of the students, feeling as if it didn't matter that I was a small 6th grader. It only mattered that I was a Shipley student. 7th grade was a year that was filled with exploration, as we read well-renowned literature like To Kill a Mockingbird. We also learned about hard topics such as the Holocaust and segregation and discrimination in America, facing the reality of the cruel world and learning the evil truth of history. Going to DC to see the Holocaust Memorial is one trip that was truly emotional for me. This trip was a growing experience for all of us, and to just think about how kids like us experience these events is just heartbreaking. Sorry, I lost myself. Going out on service every month was a really interesting aspect of my middle school years, whether it was helping the Ezra Project or going to the Talk Institute. During this final year of middle school, I've enjoyed many interesting experiences, like eating lunch at Reading Terminal Market with my friends during field trips, field day games, and coming together as a team, or even seeing the play Romeo and Juliet with our class. Even with all the excitement of this year, the truth is I personally wanted the middle school year to end so there would be a change and I could finally start high school. But towards the end of this year, I sat down and thought about my whole experience at the middle school and the memories that came with it. I now realize that I didn't even cherish the small moments that made up this year. I started to feel downhearted, like it's all ending and I can't do anything about it. But the thing is, it won't end. Because of our memories and our experiences, the middle school will always be a part of who we are, as it was a chapter of our lives. Even if I didn't see the value then, I can cherish the value now. I can cherish the friendships, activities, academics, experiences, and most importantly, the memories middle school has given to me for the rest of my life. Now that it's officially the summer, I want to give some advice and encourage everyone to relax after this long year and to remember that even though it's summer, remember to be a responsible Shipley student. As for the upper school, our class is responsible and works as a team. We should all support each other and we should not be afraid of trying new things and taking risks over the next 4 years. I hope that the upcoming years will be the best ever for the class of 2023. Thank you all. Once again, Henry Trilovich, your middle school president.
Hello. Maximos Ballas. Maximos. We recognize you for your performances in the Shipley musicals and in the many string orchestra concerts over the last 3 years, including your scene-stealing performance as Daddy Warbucks last year. We thank you for being conscientious in all your academic classes. We notice how hard you work. Claire Bittinger. Claire, we recognize you for the excitement that you bring to class discussions. We value your thoughtful perspective and your brilliance as a writer. We thank you for your intellectual engagement in all your academic classes and sharing your artistic abilities with us all, especially during the Architectural Monument Project. Ben Capobianco. Ben, we recognize you for your excellent ability and performance in all your academic classes, especially in your stellar Spanish presentation on the Latin American artist Benito Martin. We thank you for being a strong moral compass for the grade, who is willing to be a great classmate and a leader in the classroom. Hugh Devine. Hugh, we recognize you for bringing your joie de vivre to school every day, which combines your ability to make all things fun and your willingness to strive for high achievement. We thank you for your dedication to baseball as a pitcher and first baseman for the JV and middle school teams. Katie Eads. Katie, we recognize you for your remarkable abilities in languages, where you've excelled in Mandarin and showed great promise on the Spain trip last summer without ever taking Spanish. We thank you for your passion and motivation that you bring to field hockey, where you were the MVP in both 7th and 8th grades and helped to coach the lower school students in the Encore Club. Cassandra Farrell. Cassandra, we recognize you for your marvelous softball abilities that you have shared with the varsity team this year as the starting third baseman. We thank you for being a positive influence and a leader in all your academic classes and in your service group, Our Closet, by showing everyone what courage for the deed and grace for the doing looks like. Christian Frost. Christian, we recognize you for your extraordinary artistic craftsmanship, highlighted by your Roman mosaic project that was featured during the middle school arts night. We thank you for your heartfelt sincerity about your academic performances and achievements. We are amazed by your drive and focus, which will serve you well in your future career paths. Tanner Kelton. Tanner, we recognize you for your wonderful talent as a student in all your classes, which has led to an amazing achievements. We thank you for being a great citizen of the class, one who's willing to help when needed and brighten the day of both classmates and teachers, while being the funniest student Mr. Lyon has ever taught. Unfortunately, Daniel Lipinski is sick today. I'm still going to read his citation. Daniel, we recognize you for being a great mosaic maker who won awards in 7th and 8th grades in the PCS Latin Week competition, and for your spectacular piano performance in front of the whole middle school on your birthday. We thank you for being one of the most polite, thoughtful, and respectful students we have ever taught. Daniel Lipinski. Antonio Madsen. Antonio, we recognize you for your spectacular talent as a basketball player, highlighted by your 30-point performance against the Philadelphia school. It'll be fun to see your development as a player in the upper school. We thank you for your diligence and persistence, which you bring to Latin and science classes each day and night. Emma Portnoy. Emma, we recognize you for incredible strides in Spanish that led you to win a silver medal in the National Spanish Exam, and for your drive that leads you to great academic achievement. We thank you for being such a strong ambassador for Shipley, one who's always willing to drop everything to help a classmate or the school. Alexandra Tan. Alex, we recognize you for your growth as a student who is willing to challenge yourself to be your best while looking out for your classmates' best interests. We thank you for bringing your field hockey commitment and skills to Shipley, your marble indoor winter team, and to your outside team, the Philly Hockey Club. Miles Joe. Miles, we recognize you for your stellar academic efforts, highlighted by your intellectual engagement and performance in class and in the Science Olympiad. We thank you for your empathy and thoughtfulness that is beyond your years, in particular during the Italy trip as a 7th grader and also as a violin player for the middle school orchestra.
Collin John Culver Andrioli. Collin, we recognize you for your impressive lacrosse skills and your willingness to fully engage in all the aspects of life at Shipley. You have made a seamless transition socially, academically, and athletically. We thank you for challenging yourself to try new things, like organizing Speak Up, attending the diversity conference, and volunteering for stage crew. Lenny Pola Detlefs. Lenny, we recognize you for your amazing work ethic, your stellar academic performance, and your fierce skills on the hockey and lacrosse fields. We thank you for sharing your global perspective, which allows you to demonstrate remarkable maturity and diplomacy, characteristics that will make you an excellent executive board representative. Yeah. Abigail Frisch. Abby, we recognize you for being an excellent student, especially in languages, a strong advocate for yourself and others, and a loyal and caring friend. We thank you for balancing your demanding course load with your commitments as a dancer outside of school, and for sharing your kindness and compassion with the Shipley community. Gabrielle Lea Fuller. Gabby, we recognize you for your perseverance in the face of a major injury and for your commitment to academic growth and social justice. We thank you for your dedication to Days for Girls, for your consistent support of Spectrum and Race and Identity Club, and of course, for teaching us about all things K-pop. William Perry Gresh III. William, we recognize you for your passion for basketball and your dedication to community theater through the Upper Mainline Y. We thank you for your contributions to the Science Olympiad team and for your commitment to the STEAM curriculum. We are excited to see what you will create in high school. Lila Deborah Israeli. Lila, we recognize you for being an excellent soccer player and a thoughtful and introspective student with a remarkable work ethic and a sly sense of humor. We thank you for your consistency as a bell ringer, student, and athlete, serving as a courageous and graceful leader among your peers, especially in your service group SHARE. Aiden Scott McCall. Aiden, we recognize you for your remarkable resilience and maturity, which have earned you respect from your teachers and peers and have made you an incredibly valued addition to your grade. We thank you for your cheerful demeanor, your smile, your exceptional intellect, and your willingness to work hard. William Edward McCormick, Jr. Ted, we recognize you for being a serious and engaged student and a talented creative writer whose sense of humor and good spirits brighten the days of students and teachers alike. We thank you for being a leader among your peers on Science Olympiad and stage crew and for helping to bring magic to the middle school. Aisling Connor Smith. Aisling, we recognize you for being a mature, strong, and engaged community member who wowed us with your performances as Rooster in Annie and as Mrs. Brill in Mary Poppins. We thank you for your delightful sense of humor, your strong work ethic, and your agile intellect, which has helped you achieve academic excellence across the board. Matthew Omar Spencer. Matt, we recognize you for the work habits that allowed you to have an excellent year academically and that earned you awards from all 3 of your sports teams this year. We thank you for your kindness, your strong sense of right and wrong, and for your insanely strong defense on the basketball team. Tristan Luke Willing. Tristan, we recognize you for shining brightly as a math student this year and for fiercely defending the goal in soccer, which earned you recognition as most valuable player this year. We thank you for your integrity, your kindness, and your affable nature, all of which make you a treasured friend and a genuine pleasure to teach and advise. Shaolin Jing. Sherry, we recognize you for your impeccable work habits that lead you to exceptional academic excellence, especially in Spanish, your 3rd language, and in math. We thank you for your ever-present smile and for your caring demeanor that makes you a cherished friend and valued community member. Quentin Bradley Zilch. Quinn, we recognize you as an impressive athlete, excelling on the baseball diamond at Shipley and competing on a high level with your elite volleyball team. We thank you for keeping our spirits high with your cheerful demeanor and your sense of humor that helped make your transition to Shipley seem effortless.
I got my advisory well coached. Mateo Easton Alvarez. Tay, we recognize you for your athletic contributions and quiet leadership skills, serving as a valuable member of the boys squash team. We thank you for your academic and personal integrity, as well as for your warm, supportive presence, topped with a wonderful smile. Graham H. Israeli. Graham, we recognize you for your voracious thirst for knowledge and high academic achievement in all classes, especially in history, as you are the top contender in the Geographic B. We thank you for your observant and keen sense of humor that you are never shy about sharing. Caroline Jennifer Kay. Caroline, we recognize you for your dedication to academic excellence as you consistently strive for your personal best. We thank you for your excellent theatrical and musical abilities that enriched the Shipley community when you played Grace and Mrs. Banks in the middle school productions of Annie and Mary Poppins. Botong Lee. Simba, we recognize your participation in Science Olympiad this year, as your boomy lever design was very innovative. We thank you for your wonderful artwork. Your representational drawings are fantastic. You really think about how you want your final product to be viewed by the community. Andrew Jason McCarthy. Andrew, we recognize you for your strong academic drive and dedication to explore depth of understanding, as well as your creative design displayed on this year's Ezra Kaiser t-shirt. We thank you for your growth and amazing talent as an actor and singer, especially performing as Mr. Banks in this year's Mary Poppins. Ali Rashid Mia. Ali, we recognize you for your excellent leadership ability on the soccer field, the classroom, and reading Olympics team. We thank you for your strong self-confidence, gentlemanly manner, animated spirit, and sharp sense of humor that energizes the classrooms and hallways. Anna Phelps. Anna, we recognize you for your portrayal of the eccentric Mrs. Corey in this year's production of Mary Poppins. We thank you for your kind nature and dedication. You have made it a priority at school to volunteer on the Student Leadership Committee, organizing dances, assemblies, and other successful student council events. Benjamin Joseph Qua Roses. Ben, we recognize your passion for all things Magic the Gathering and for helping to create an enthusiastic community of players within the 8th grade. We thank you for being a very talented young musician as you played an instrumental role in the string ensemble for the past 3 years. Sara Elizabeth Schumer. Sara, we recognize you for your kind-hearted personality and the way you embrace life, the people around you, and the entire school community. We thank you for being a rousing young songwriter, communicating your inspirational messages in such a way that everyone hears and remembers your powerful melodies. Yulin Song. Yulin, we recognize your kind, polite, generous mannerisms that allowed you to make new friends and try new activities during the school year. Thank you for being a dominating force on the girls' basketball team. Your on-the-ball defense and rebounding skills were essential in helping your team win. Wyatt Idledorg Strawbridge. Wyatt, we recognize you for being an out-of-the-box thinker, shown through your interesting projects and unique ideas that you contribute in class discussions. We thank you for your stewardship and interest in the environment, as shown through your 8th grade leadership project, which raised awareness on climate change. Ava Lily Trachtenberg. Ava, we recognize you for your impressive determination and high achievement in all of your studies. We thank you for displaying great leadership qualities on the soccer field, for you possess effective interpersonal skills that allow you to successfully communicate with, motivate, and appreciate others on your team. Jesse Reese Worgon. Jesse, we recognize you for taking pride in your learning, as your honesty and heartfelt efforts allowed you to understand new concepts and ideas in the classroom. We thank you for your keen sense of empathy expressed through kind gestures to others and your strong commitment to your friends and family.
Alyssa Abel Doe. Alyssa, we recognize you for your enthusiasm and sportsmanship on the soccer field and for your love of horseback riding. We thank you for your commitment to your teammates and classmates and the hard work you put in to improve your skills in Spanish. Tori Allen. Tori, we acknowledge you for your marvelous performance on the tennis court, playing at the first spot on varsity as an 8th grader. We thank you for your thoughtful leadership on your SEED project about incarceration, where you delivered an engaging presentation to your peers. Congratulations, Tori. Zion Alexis. Zion, we recognize you for your amazing accomplishments in Latin, earning maxima cum laude on the National Latin exam. We thank you for your strong writing skills in English and enthusiasm in French, where you worked hard to improve your pronunciation. Congratulations. Good job. Collin Cotrambone. Collin, we recognize you for your performance as a high-level hockey player, which was exemplified by your recent trip to Finland. We thank you for your kindness, for your integrity, and amazing artistic contributions in your various classes, where you showed courage to take risks, like the Romeo and Juliet drawing. Congratulations, Bud. Good job. Teddie Digiacomo. Teddie, we recognize you for your hard work and passion for soccer and basketball, especially your defensive plays throughout the year. We thank you for your honesty and integrity with your schoolwork and your dedication as a loyal friend to those in your grade. Good job. Very good. Caroline Fleischner. Caroline, we acknowledge you for your kindness, commitment to service, and stewardship. We thank you for your contributions to Speak Up, Impact Week, and for expanding dialogues concerning diversity and inclusion throughout the middle school. Congratulations. Good job. Catherine Folk. Catherine, we recognize you for your deep love of soccer and dedication to improving continually. We thank you for your contributions to Science Olympiad and to the middle school musicals, where you shared your creative spirit with the Shipley community. Great job. Congratulations. Julia Kligerman. Julia, we acknowledge you for your kindness, stewardship, and willingness to help others, evident by your love of American Sign Language and your volunteer work. We thank you for your contributions to the middle school musicals as a member of the stage crew. Congratulations, Julia. Good job. Nick Nedesine. Nick, we recognize you for your compassion, your kindness, and creativity as you shared in the original song that you co-wrote for this year's Shark Tank project. We thank you for your contributions to the middle school musical, where you played the role of Admiral Boom in Mary Poppins. Congratulations, buddy. Good job. Jason Nakala. Jason, we recognize you for your strong character, integrity, and honesty. You are always willing to stand up for what you believe in. We thank you for sharing your deep love of basketball with all, and for the contributions that you continually make to the middle school basketball program. Good job, buddy. Congratulations. Nathan Panzer. Nate, we recognize you for your kindness, your conscientious work ethic, and your willingness to help your peers. We thank you for your many contributions to the soccer, basketball, and baseball programs, where you contributed as both a high-impact player and also a manager. Congratulations, buddy. Good job. James Richards. James, we acknowledge you for your selflessness, your strong moral compass, and your leadership through example. We thank you for your commitment to expanding dialogue and awareness about diversity and inclusion by attending the Middle School Diversity Conference at Haverford. Congratulations. Good job.
Jeffrey Charles Aronstan. Jeffrey, we recognize you for your incredible strides and leadership role in English, for your enthusiastic participation in history, and your perseverance in Latin. We thank you for your amazing effort on the basketball court, your willingness to play as a forward, and especially your drive to score three-point shots. John Palmer Cutterback. Jack, we recognize you for your dedication and accomplishments on our baseball program, especially for the extra time you have given to the team. We thank you for gracing the 8th grade class with kindness and camaraderie, and for your seamless integration into the Shipley community this year. Zachary Nathan Brown Deitch. Zach, we recognize you for your outstanding academic merits, your skills in Mandarin, your fervent interest in science, and your incredible achievements in Latin as a Philadelphia Classical Society magna cum laude recipient and National Latin Exam winner. We thank you for your contributions to the tennis team and your kind spirit. Ruby Isabella Flynn. Ruby, we recognize you for your linguistic prowess, your hard work in math, and your exemplary Philadelphia Classical Society Latin project and recognition on the National Latin Exam. We thank you for your time and effort with the Science Olympiad, where you helped your team place 7th, and your positive contributions to the middle school community. Madison Avery Gallia. Maddie, we recognize you for your academic excellence, particularly your amazing run in math, your efforts in Spanish, and your insights in English. We thank you for your heartfelt dedication and service to the school, your kind spirit and compassion to the middle school community, and for the friendships you have developed. Mason Reid Gurkanak. Mason, we recognize you for your kind spirit, your positive energy, and your academic achievements and dedication to excellence, especially in Spanish. We thank you for your dedication to the Shipley basketball team and your great accomplishments, scoring up to 20 points in one game. Jack Herschel Helly. Jack, we recognize you for the consistent, solid effort you put forth in all academic pursuits and for your scholarly achievements. We thank you for your passion and contributions to the basketball program as a first-time player and for the exemplary motivation and effort you put forth on the court. Sanaya Malia Jackson. Sanaya, we recognize you for your incredible growth as a student this year, your diligence to your work, and your achievements in Latin, especially as a summa cum laude winner at the Philadelphia Classical Society. We thank you for your unlimited smiles, your grace and kindness, and your willingness to help your friends and teachers. Zoe Isabel Morse. Zoe, we recognize you for your high academic achievements, particularly in math and science, and for earning summa cum laude on your Philadelphia Classical Society Latin project. We thank you for always putting forth your best effort, no matter what the task, and for your contributions on the lacrosse field. Genevieve May Schofield. Jenna, we recognize you for your incredible dedication and talents in tap, ballet, hip hop, and jazz dancing, talents which you shared with us in the middle school musical. We thank you for your diligence in balancing your dance and academic schedules and your incredible efforts in honors math and in Latin as a Philadelphia Classical Society cum laude winner. Olive Scholl Smith. Olive, we recognize you for your contributions and talents to our field hockey program, where you showed great effort and dominated on defense. We thank you for your diligence and academic drive, especially in science and English, where you have learned to express yourself confidently and eloquently. Henry Marshall Turlovich. Henry, we recognize you for your dedication and service to the school, particularly as our middle school president and as the lead in your art architectural monument project. We thank you for the high academic standards you set for yourself, your motivation, and especially your passion for Spanish and math. Vance Thomas Yanni II. Vance, we recognize you for your outstanding contributions to our middle school community and the spirit and leadership you exemplify, for which you were awarded the Middle School Community Service Award. We thank you for your indispensable talents and leadership in our soccer program and congratulate you for your outstanding soccer skills outside of school.
Taryn Bailey. Taryn, we recognize you for your thoughtful work engaging in Race and Identity Club and for seeking to expand your knowledge at the Haverford Diversity Symposium. We thank you for your bravery and leadership in reciting several stanzas of Langston Hughes's Let America Be America Again in the All-School Assembly. Congratulations. Oh, take this. Jesse Bayman. Jesse, we recognize you for your court vision, your presence, your drive, your teamwork, and your leadership on the boys' A basketball team this winter. We thank you for your passionate debates and your seemingly endless knowledge of NBA and NFL statistics. Congratulations. Connor Eustace. Connor, we recognize you for earning a silver on the National Spanish exam and earning cum laude on the Latin 1 national exam. We thank you for your integrity, your work ethic, your kindness, and leadership. Also, I want to thank you for our mutual love and connection over lacrosse. Congratulations. Yordi Hart Carmichael. Yordi, we recognize you for winning the Best of category for your piece titled Gladiator Fight in the Philadelphia Classic Societies contest. We thank you for your wisdom, your gratitude, and maturity, both inside and outside of the classroom, and most notably for earning MVP for your leadership and fierceness on the basketball court. Congratulations. Jack Hartman. Jack, we recognize you for your notable math prowess in winning the American Mathematics Competition and for your wonderful skills starting and finishing an 1,000-piece 1980s puzzle in your free time this spring in advisory. We thank you for your bravery in transitioning to a new school this year and for making an impact. Congratulations, Jack. Catherine Lang. Kendall, we recognize you for your remarkable knowledge and passion for Black Panther, Captain America, Avengers, Spider-Man, and the entire oeuvre of the MCU, and your ability to bring it seamlessly into the English classroom. We thank you for your resilience, strength, and empathy in the face of adversity and challenge. Congratulations, Kendall. So proud of you. Selena Lee. Selena, we recognize you for earning cum laude for your Hera, the Goddess Queen painting for the Philadelphia Classic Societies contest. And we thank you for sharing your artistry and skill with the community through organizing and participating in this year's Talent Tuesdays, and for writing beautifully calligraphic thank you notes. Congratulations. Julia Lissac. Julia, we recognize you for your commitment to athletics of all kinds, including but not limited to field hockey, in which you earned MVP honors, for lacrosse, and even judo. We thank you for your academic rigor in the classroom and beyond, earning magna cum laude from the Philadelphia Classic Society for your literary entry. Congratulations, Julia. Justin Powell. Justin, we recognize you not only for your serious athletic achievement as a varsity basketball team player, 1984 Boys Cup Award winner, but also for the winning of the Character and Honor and Spirit Award. We thank you for your passion and for sharing your jokes, words of wisdom, kind advice, but most of all, your SoundCloud musings. Krishi Raj. Krishi, We recognize you for your superior academics this year, pursuing Science Olympiad, earning Cum Laude Award for your Roman Catapult, Summa Cum Laude on the National Latin exam, and the Gold on the National Spanish exam. We thank you for your leadership and thoughtful cultivation of meaningful relationships with all through your SEED project. Congratulations, Krishy. Olivia Trachtenberg. Liv, we recognize you for your drive and academic rigor, and by earning magna cum laude praises for your noblewoman in Roman Egypt painting. We thank you for your thoughtful and engaging SEED leadership project, where you exemplified the school's motto of courage for the deed and grace for the doing by contributing to St. Barnabas Church. Congrats, Liv. Jack Swibell. Jack, we recognize you for bringing your character strengths of zest, humor, and teamwork to advisory, the classroom, to the playing field, and by earning Boys B Basketball Team Award. We thank you for your remarkable determination to solve puzzles of all kind, whether a jigsaw puzzle or a Rubik's Cube. Bravo, Jack. Congrats.
Before we move on with this morning's program, we have one more citation to present. Stephen S. Pilch. Steve. You can fire me, but
I just said that to Shane.
I didn't write it, he did. Oh, no, we both did. Steve, we recognize you for fully understanding the unique social, emotional, and intellectual qualities of our middle schoolers, young adolescents requiring a developmental approach different from older students. We thank you for including all of us, colleagues and students alike, in your ever-growing rainbow of friends.
There you go.
Thank you. Please, thank you. Thanks. Let me say this. First, I'm incredibly touched. If I had known that in 27 years I could graduate from the lower school in one day, the middle school today, and the upper school tomorrow, you never know. I'm incredibly touched, and I had said to Shane before, actually, I got this, that I had hoped he would say to everybody after hearing the citations of all of our wonderful eighth graders, you understand why I feel I've been the luckiest head of school anywhere. But I want to take a moment to thank you all for your remarkable support of this class, your remarkable support of the school, and over time, your remarkable support of me. It's been a true privilege to be the head of this school, and I think our students tell the story, your children. Thank you, and God bless you all. Enjoy.
So now it is my pleasure to call on Margaret van Steenwyk, the head of the upper school, to speak a few words to our class. Thank you.
Wow. I can't wait to have you all in the upper school. Could we please have one more round of applause? Congratulations to the class of 2019 and soon-to-be class of 2023. You are graduating in the 125th year, and I can't help but notice that the sum of 1, 2, and 5 is 8. I know, I'm a math major. So it feels like it's special for you as a class. You have distinguished yourselves immensely as immensely talented, bright, spirited, determined, loyal, forthright, and fun-loving. I've had a chance to look at your yearbook, and your spirit and your creativity shine through. You are scholars, you're artists, singers, athletes, musicians, actors, players of Magic the Gathering, and in general, doers. We have gotten to know you a bit in the transition process. Your reputation precedes you in all the good ways, and we simply can't wait to have you in the upper school. I just have 2 pieces of advice as you embark on this first rite of passage into high school. At Shipley, individuality and community are inextricable. Thus, who you are as a person shapes who we are as a school. So the first piece of advice is always remember who you are and where you came from. Each of you comes with your own story and background. You will bring parts of your family, your interests, and your background to the upper school experience. And happily for you as a group, the middle school is a large part of that background. The middle school experience and certainly your teachers have prepared you well for this next step. My second piece of advice is about continuing to develop who you are. What we love about the transition process is watching each student enter with a sense of what he or she wants to pursue, and then watching that unfold and even change as interests and abilities develop. As you cross the quad with your many talents and aspirations, so much awaits you, and in order to fully embrace the opportunities, you're going to need to take some risks. Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. That daring adventure starts soon. Embrace it. Lean into it. Some of those adventures, risks will be big, others will be small. So whether you're finalizing courses, thinking about preseason, reaching out to a new classmate, trying something new, go for it. All of these are going to start in a blink of an eye. Congratulations. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Declan Buckley, our all-school president for the 2019 through 2020 year. Declan is a lifer who is committed to the Shipley community. He's in his 3rd year of student government and has already made valuable contributions. We are still thrilled to have the student body in his charge and care.
I remember my own 8th grade graduation, which was about 3 years ago today. I remember sitting in these chairs, anxiously waiting for my name to be called, and absolutely sweating through my jacket and tie in the heat of the lights of Bryn Mawr College. Thankfully, it's a little cooler today. But what I remember most is feeling excited for what high school would bring me. There's a lot to be excited about high school. There's more freedom, there's academic classes that are more tailored to your own specific interests, and of course, there's a lunch period that does not start at 11 a.m. Personally, the thing I'm most excited for is to see what this grade brings to the table. Our upper school community is very closely knit, and I love how each grade seems to take on its own unique personality. I would also like to give you guys some advice on how to get the most out of your high school experience. Always bring more pencils than you could possibly imagine yourself needing to every single class. As I'm sure you know, they seem to disappear at an alarming rate. If you're ever in need of a drink, just know that the water fountain by the science classrooms, which is that right there, is always the coldest, every time. And finally, if you're ever feeling confused about which room number corresponds with which classroom, just know that there's probably a senior out there who is just as confused as you guys. While it will be fun, upper school will also bring you guys some adversity. How you respond to these problems, both individually and as a grade, will help shape you into the people you were meant to become here. To the parents, I encourage you to support your children to the best of your abilities, and always allow them to express themselves fully. Many of you have probably had a child in high school before and know what to expect. For those of you who haven't, good luck. I know that we may be a lot to handle sometimes, but I assure you that it is all worth it in the end. I hope you all have wonderful summers, and I can't wait to see you guys in September. But until then, I'm Declan Buckley, your all-school president. Thank you.
Please stand and join us in singing the school song.
I would like to invite you all back to the Commons right after this closing for some light refreshments. But before we do that, and I know I'm standing between this graduating class and going out, and then Hershey Park tomorrow, which will be on rain or shine, and no dress code except for dress down day. I was asked today by one of the students, was like, do we have to wear a uniform tomorrow? No, dress down day, but appropriate dress down, please. Can you join me in giving the class of 2023 a round of applause, please?